Latisha is at it again. She was arrested on Saturday, August 9th, and all happened when a officer decided to pull her over, and when he ended up running her information, he found out she had no insurance and no registration, so he gave her misdemeanor tickets for that, and then he ran her name and found out that she had felony forgery and felony identity theft warrants, and these are some serious charges, so he had to place her under arrest, took her into the jail, and she was held initially on a $40,600 cash only bond. Latisha once again made the news. Let's watch the news coverage.
A few months ago, TV6 Investigates Matt Christensen brought you a story about a single mother who hired an accountant to handle her small business's finances, that is, while she was coping with her child's terminal illness. Tonight we learned the same woman, Latisha Collier, has been arrested and charged with felony forgery and felony identity theft, that in Scott County. Collier is being held in the Scott County Jail on a $40,600 cash bond. TWQC is working to learn more about her arrest.
I'm glad that made the local news, so all the locals can be aware of her. If they don't already know, then now they know. Okay, so for those of you guys who've been following me for a while and been keeping up with all the Latisha updates, some of you guys may remember it was probably about a year ago, close to a year ago, I made a video after I had learned from a source, and a source alleged that Latisha moved into the house that she's living in now that we saw on Love After Lockup. But a lot of people were like, how the hell did she move into this house? Because she literally had gone through so many evictions. She has so much bad history when it comes to not paying rent and getting kicked out of places. So you think that would be held against her when it comes to trying to find a new place. Like, this is what I was told allegedly happened. People got curious and they're like, how did Latisha move into this house? So they decided to look up and see who was the name of the person leasing out the property. And it wasn't Latisha's name on there. And it wasn't Keith's either. It was some random lady. So someone actually reached out to that lady and said, hey, do you know that this house is being rented out in your name right now? And she's like, oh, I have absolutely no idea. And once they found out, it eventually got reported to police. Apparently, this woman was a client of Latisha's and she just stole her information. And a lot of people have been saying that they feel like this whole tax business they have is just like a giant identity theft ring. And honestly, this is what it's starting to feel like. Colleen, the woman that Latisha swindled out of over $11,000, she posted on her Facebook and she shared a advertisement of the house that Latisha is currently living in, showing that it's for rent and available on September 15th. So Latisha's has to be out of that house within the next month. And she says, anyways, living in a $3,500 a month house under a client's name, fraudulently, yet needing a court-appointed attorney while out on bond with a felony theft charge is absolutely insane. They accept online applications, so that is how she did it. So she went online, filled out the client's name, so if anyone's like, oh, why didn't they get her ID or anything, I guess she just did it all online and paid whatever she needed to, and they just handed her the keys over. This is the paperwork showing that she had a warrant out for her arrest, and the narrative on this says she fraudulently used a writing with the intent to defraud or injure anyone, or with knowledge that she was facilitating a fraud or injury to be perpetrated by anyone by altering the writing of another to with money, securities, postage, government-issued instrument, stock, bond, credit sale contracts, check, draft, or other writing. And it says owned by so-and-so without his or her permission to do so, which would explain her using this woman's says name here in this they whole listed out the evidence that they have. This is probable cause, and it says that they have her operating a motor vehicle in the county, which, you know, when they pulled her over and she didn't have the registration or the insurance. And then it shows they have physical evidence of lease and application documents, and her probably falsely signing those documents. And it says that they also have witnesses near scene of the crime and other physical evidence. So she's found guilty of these charges. She is screwed. She could be looking at some prison time for sure, especially with her record. So she ended up going to court Sunday morning, which I was shocked, because I remember back in my troublemaking days, if I went to jail like on a Friday, you would be screwed and have to sit in there all weekend until Monday. But Latisha lucked out. In the jail she was in, they let all their inmates see a judge within 24 hours, even if you're in there on a weekend. So she saw a judge early Sunday morning. Someone did send me a clip of her at her court hearing while she was behind bars, but unfortunately they had their mute on the whole time, so there wasn't any audio. But they did explain she went in front of the judge and her bond was reduced from $40,000 to $10,000, and they reduced the $600 bond to $50. So she did end up paying like $1,100 or close to that, and did end up bonding out through a bondsman. Latisha was just posting 5 days ago that whoever said money can't buy happiness obviously never been bonded out. And I do want to make one correction. So I did say that the incident on the arrest information was saying that the incident happened in April of 2024. It was August of 2024, not April. I'm sorry, I misspoke. And in the dockets for this case, the identity theft was originally listed that was over $1,000, but according to the docket, this identity theft was over $10,000, just upgrading the seriousness and time she may be facing for these charges. And that would make sense if she's paying $3,500 a month in rent. She's been living there for over a year. I mean, it could be over $20,000-$30,000 now. I mean, they're just saying $10,000 plus. Man, I really hope she's at least been paying her rent while she's been living there. I highly doubt it, but I hope she's at least been doing that, since she's already caused this innocent lady enough freaking damage. I hope she's not going to sit there and put this lady massively in debt over this. The warrant was issued for Latisha's arrest August 5th, so it didn't even take them a week to finally catch her. And this is not going to look good in Latisha's other cases she has going on. She has this case going on with Colleen after she allegedly took over $11,000 from Colleen, and that case is hopefully going to be settled soon. She was acting like she wanted to take a plea deal, and they're originally going to have one by the end of the month, and now they're talking about January. And Latisha has a felony theft charge she's dealing with that we heard her talk briefly about on this season of Life After Lockup, where a client alleged that Latisha was like, okay, come do your tax services with me. The client went to tax services with her, and Latisha was like, okay, so you owe almost $9,000. So if you just give me the $9,000, I'm going to go ahead and pay the state and the feds for you, so you don't have to take care of it. But the thing is, she never paid the IRS. She pocketed all that money. So then that person is sitting there, and 2-3 years later, they get a letter from the IRS saying, look, you owe $9,000 plus all this interest for taking years to pay us, and this person is screwed. Like, just between Colleen and that felony theft charge, that's $20,000 alone. And then this $10,000 plus identity theft charge, like if it's at near the bare minimum of $10,000, then that's just $30,000 alone. But I'm sure it's, like I said, a lot more than $10,000 for this identity theft charge. So that's not going to be good for her, because she has trial for this felony theft charge in January. Latisha was just promoting recently her most recent rebrand, where she made this business called the Courtroom Hustle, where she's saying she's going to help people with like bankruptcy, small claims court. She's offering people expungement services, which, I mean, I wouldn't trust that. I mean, with all the stuff she's done in the past, I'd be scared that she'd be like, oh, don't worry, you got this felony taken off your record, and then 5 years later you go to apply for a job and get to the very last step in the hiring process just for them to deny you because you still have a damn felony on your record. But that's it for this video, guys. If I learn any more details, then I'll be sure to let you guys know. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.